What's going on, YouTube? Same place, same me, different hoodie. So finally grabbed a different hoodie this morning. Changed things up a bit. It's cold outside, so I just grab what I can grab and I go about my business. So today I want to talk about the concept of air. And in that regard, we breathe air every day, in and out, in and out. That's our breath is our life, and it's how we continue to live this experience of life, through breathing in air. But I'm not talking about the literal sense of air. I'm talking about an analogy that I use called air. So in the analogy, the A is accountability, I is integrity, and R is respect. So this works both ways in the principle, because you're gonna breathe in air, and in that sense, you're gonna hold yourself accountable. You're gonna be a person of your word, living with integrity, and you're gonna respect yourself by doing all the things that you say you're gonna do. And just stop lying to yourself. Stop bullshitting and coming up with all the excuses that you can to say, oh, I didn't do this because of this, because of this, because of this. If you didn't do it, you didn't fucking do it. Move on. Take responsibility and get that shit done if you want to get it done. If you didn't, then you made the choice not to get it done. This goes back into the last conversation about small habits. Something so small. If you chose not to do it, you didn't do it. There's no excuse. There's no, oh, but this happened. It's something so small that you can do it. And you treat yourself with respect by being honest with yourself. Because you can lie to yourself and try to make yourself feel good and justify this over that. And you're not going anywhere. You're going to run around in the same loop over and over and over again, finding yourself in the same situations over and over and over again, until you take that accountability. And accountability can also be action. So you take that action, you make that stand, you hold yourself to a higher standard, and you pursue that to a higher degree. Integrity. You put action behind your words. For the longest time, for myself, words were everything. Words were how I justified my own being, because my love language was words of affirmation. So I needed outside validation. I needed to hear the things. I needed them that just helped me feel secure in who I was. And I loved the praise. But after a while, I just kept finding myself getting hurt over and over and over again, because not to fault anybody, because I know we're all human, but it just seemed like over time, words for people had less value. They had less meaning. They were just empty words. And with empty words, it's like drinking empty carbs. It's just good in the moment, but the next day your hangover sucks. So these words were good in the moment, but without that action, without that follow through, they weren't shit. They didn't mean shit. They're just, and it takes away the power, because words are actually powerful things. And I think that's why I held on to them so heavily in the past. But since those experiences, my whole mindset shift, my whole persona switched, that now words of affirmation are still my love language, but when I retook the test, they were dead tied with acts of service. And that just goes for me to say, words are nice, words are good. I still value and appreciate words. But without that action behind it, without me seeing that you were actually being true to these words that you're saying, that doesn't mean shit to me. And I'm going to see it that way until I see this piece with this piece. And that's what creates integrity. And with integrity, obviously things you just can't do sometimes. Like sometimes things happen and like you really just can't do it that day. That's fine. Communicate that. That's integrity. But when you just say things and there's no communication behind that, and your things just are just there and they just keep becoming there, you're not being integrable. You're not doing anything to help you. You're not holding yourself accountable. You're not respecting yourself, and at the same time, you're not respecting others. So air works both ways because you're breathing it in, but you're also exhaling it out. And when you exhale, that's the standard you hold to others. You're gonna be keeping them accountable. By keeping yourself accountable, you keep them accountable. If someone says they want to do this, motivate them, uplift them, give them perspective. Don't hate, but give them perspective. Voice your opinion. Show them love. Show them you hear them, and show them you're excited for them and doing their journey. Keep them accountable. Keep them on their shit. Keep them up to beat. It's not your job. You don't have to be, hey, check in religiously. But when you think about it, be like, hey, how's this going? Or how'd this go? Oh, cool. Like, check in. Keep them accountable. Integrity. Keep them up to their word. Because you know how you go through it, ups and downs, ups and downs. Everybody goes through ups and downs, ups and downs. So when you get Sally, Joe, Susie, whoever, when they're in their down, they might need you to pick them back up with the simple, well, hey, how's that venture going that you started out last week or a month ago or whatever it may be? Oh, this happened. I haven't really been doing it. I haven't touched base. Well, simple. Remember why you started. Remember why you wanted that. Remember how motivated you were way back then to do it. Let's do it. See it through. You don't know till you know. I get it. You're going through a tough patch right now. So take your time, process, but don't forget about why you're doing this in the first place. Keep them to their word. Maybe they need to try and find a different route. Maybe they need some closure in that regard. But keep them to their word. And then respect. That goes every which sense of life. Like, give yourself respect, but show respect. Respect's the best way to love another human being, to understand that they are there, to see that we are all here in this thing of existence called life, and to appreciate that. Respect. It's not hard. It's really not. You don't have to fully agree with somebody. You don't have to be a spitting image of that person to show them respect. You can respectfully hate somebody. And hate's a very strong word, but you can respectfully hate somebody. Just don't be malicious with how you move. Because when you become malicious, that opens up a whole nother can of worms. And we're not even going to talk about that today. We're just talking about air. So breathe that air. Breathe in that accountability. Breathe in that integrity. Breathe in that respect for yourself. And then exhale the same thing for others. And with that, the snowball effect begins and the world becomes a better place. Uplift, people. Uplift. That's all we can do. And it starts with you. It starts here. And then it expands from there. So, that being said, breathe air. All love.